Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's me, Chris Reel, Baltimore City tour guide and owner of Rent-A-Tour with another Baltimore story. And today I'm going to talk about one of the coolest spots in Baltimore, Federal Hill. Now, Federal Hill is a beautifully landscaped grassy hill right at the water's edge overlooking the inner harbor, offering some of the most spectacular views of the downtown Baltimore skyline. But it wasn't always called Federal Hill. In fact, it was originally known as John Smith's Hill, in honor of the English explorer Captain John Smith. You remember him from Pocahontas, right? Well, John Smith was one of the very first Europeans to chart the waterways of the Chesapeake Bay. He sailed from Jamestown, Virginia, up the Chesapeake Bay to the Patapsco River, and when he arrived in the Patapsco River, he would describe a great red bank of clay flanking a natural harbor basin. Well, that great red bank of clay would eventually become Federal Hill. But the original settlers of Baltimore town called it John Smith's Hill. And it was called John Smith's Hill until 1788. In 1788, something very important happened. Maryland became the seventh state to ratify the Constitution. Very big deal. And the citizens of Baltimore were all very excited when that happened. Merchants and business people raised money for a huge, epic celebration. A man named Commodore Joshua Barney, American naval hero, helped build a 15-foot miniature sailing ship with 7 sails because Maryland was the 7th state to ratify the Constitution. The ship was dubbed the Federalist, and it was paraded through the streets of downtown Baltimore all the way to John Smith's Hill, where the party continued. The party continued for 3 whole days. Eventually, Barney would sail the Federalist out to the Chesapeake Bay, down to the Potomac River, to George Washington's house at Mount Vernon, and he would present the Federalist to George Washington as a gift from the people of Maryland. And after that, the hill, John Smith's Hill, would henceforth and forevermore become known as Federal Hill. Now, if you visit Federal Hill today, you'll notice that there is a cannon up on top of that hill. But you'll also notice that the cannon is aimed at Baltimore. Why in the world would the cannon on top of the hill be aimed at the city? Well, it's because during the Civil War, there was an awful lot of Southern sympathy in Baltimore. And shortly after the war began, a Union general named Benjamin Butler, without orders, positioned his men atop Federal Hill with all of their guns and all of their artillery aimed square at the heart of Baltimore. This was a warning to those Confederate sympathizers. Federal Hill would then become known as Fort Federal Hill, and the city of Baltimore remained under the gun, so to speak, for the duration of the Civil War. Also today, you'll find a monument honoring George Armistead at the northeast corner of the park. Armistead was the commander at Fort McHenry during the War of 1812 when the British attacked Baltimore. Adjacent to the Armistead Memorial is a statue honoring General Samuel Smith. Smith was Armistead's commanding officer and a hero of both the American Revolution and the War of 1812. He was also a United States Senator from the state of Maryland and Mayor of Baltimore. Today, Federal Hill is a very popular gathering spot for recreation, exercise, photography. At the base of the hill is the American Visionary Art Museum, and every summer they project movies on the side of their building. And folks can lay out on the hillside with blankets and chairs, enjoying the films and a picnic that they maybe packed. It's a really fun experience called Flicks from the Hill every summer at Federal Hill. And the neighborhood around the hill is likewise a very popular spot for locals and visitors alike to gather and have a good time. Federal Hill is well known for its social scene, great bars and restaurants anchored by the newly remodeled Cross Street Market. So Federal Hill was born out of a celebration, a party in 1788, and Federal Hill has been celebrating ever since. Now, if you'd like to include Federal Hill on your tour of Baltimore, just visit our website, www.rentatour.com, for more information about how you can schedule your trip in and around the capital region. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at RealDeal125. That's also my Instagram account at RealDeal125. If you're enjoying this video, please like it, please share it, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you have an idea for an upcoming video, just let me know in the comments or tweet at me. I want to thank Lyle McCullum for suggesting a video about Federal Hill. Thanks very much, Lyle. We'll be back with another Baltimore story real soon, but until then, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon.